Hey fellas, this is Alex, just doing a little content warning here for some of the topics we talk about. We spend a long time talking about a cult, which dives into some topics of, well, cult stuff, but also the cult did some pretty screwed up things, or was talking about some pretty screwed up things. They didn't really do anything. It was more of a philosophy thing. It's kind of fucked up. But it was mostly talks of like eugenics and like there's some racial stuff in there, and it's pretty gross. But yeah, if that's not your cup of tea, dominates the majority of this episode. So just fair warning.
Hello, and welcome to the Fable Few, the only podcast ever, and YouTube channel, in fact.
Only one.
We don't know if anyone else is alive.
We made the
actually.
websites, Mile.
Haven't.
If you're out there,
Everything
please send help.
experience starts and ends here.
If you're out there,
Back.
please send help. They've
We-
locked
we
me in
made-
the editor basement, and they won't let me go until I've created 100 videos.
Don't listen to that. I don't know what you think you're hearing. but
Please
you're not
send help.
hearing what
I
you
haven't
think
seen
you're
my
hearing.
family in
No,
months.
you're
I'm not even sure if they're alive.
You guys
Guys.
are hearing things.
Such a
You guys
strong
are just
open
There's
to our
so
podcast.
many
This is
guys
a
are just
great.
hearing things.
This
It's
is a
just
great
nonsense.
opening.
Immediately turn everyone off of our podcast right now. If
No.
you're listening, turn the dial. Do it.
I immediately know what's going to get everyone to keep listening.
Oh.
So, 2 days ago, a very
Oh.
unfortunate child was born.
Oh,
God.
boy.
The world's
So-
most unfortunate child, some might say, by name alone.
We're recording
Listen, John-
on Wednesday, May 6th, and that was 2 days after the birth of Josh, or as you all might know them, AJ.
Not that.
Not that.
That's phonetic. That's
Ow.
phonetically.
XIAI A-12 A.
And it's pronounced
Josh.
Josh.
It's pronounced Josh.
Have you guys seen her Twitter post where she explains why it's spelled like that?
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, and
We'll
then
have to remember to put it in the
fucking-
description.
The father of her unfortunate
At
child immediately
first I
had
was
to
like,
be like,
I was like, surely, I was like, just like it has to be. They couldn't have just named their child something unfortunate. It had to have been just Elon telling his fucking Twitter cult that to get them
What's
to
the
stop
context
asking
of
him
this?
questions. Elon Musk had a kid with Grimes, and the baby's name sucks.
What's the baby's
Oh, does
name?
Tyler not know? Or
I
does
put-
Moke
We
know?
just said it's a bunch of
Hey, don't-
characters
it's
and
in the-
numbers.
falling for it.
Oh.
If you need to specifically look at it, I did. It is in the Few Who Speak channel
Yeah.
on our Discord.
Yeah,
So-
you can see it.
Her reasoning, I love this.
XI something 12.
I just listen. I love her. I love what she fucking wrote here on her Twitter. Okay, because Moke
The
doesn't
amount of
know.
emojis. Do you think there are emojis in that kid's like birth certificate?
I don't know. I
Probably.
don't think you can. So here it is. X, the unknown variable, crossed swords. I is an AE as like a single letter. My elven spelling of AI, love and/or artificial intelligence. A12 equals the precursor to the SR17.
I'd like to butt in really quick.
What the
Huh?
fuck?
So, the fun fact about the SR-17 is that it doesn't fucking exist. She mistyped the SR-72, I believe, is what she meant.
Oh my
because-
god.
Oh my
Because
Christ.
the SR-17 isn't a fucking airplane.
Oh, that's hilarious. She typed in a plane that doesn't exist by accident.
So not
Yeah,
only are they idiots with making a really dumb baby's name, they did it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idea is that the whatever plane she was supposed to be talking about has no weapons, no defenses, just speed, great in battle but not violent. Heart. Plus A equals
Yeah, it's the
Archangel,
SR-71
my favorite
Blackbird.
song.
Keep in mind, she's
What
32.
does- She is a 32-year-old woman who is married
This is the
to Elon
Antichrist.
Musk. She's married
Can I
to him,
just
right?
say it?
Yeah.
This is the
No,
Antichrist.
maybe? I don't remember.
Oh no.
I don't-
I don't think they're married.
Oh, that's,
I don't.
I
it
don't know if
doesn't-
that's worse.
I don't.
I'm way
care.
too mentally deficient to understand anything right now.
Also,
Baby!
Underneath,
That's it.
Underneath Archangel, my favorite song, she just has in parentheses.
So I
crossed
did learn why
sword,
that is.
Mouse, metal rat.
So that's
What?
because it's the year of the rat right now,
Oh
and
my
it's specifically
Oh.
the metal related to the Eastern Zodiac that the year is in is metal, so it is the year of the metal rat.
Oh.
Wow.
So that's why that's there.
So rich people really do get roped into this stuff, huh?
Yeah, they
Imagine
do.
a world
They are
where a
on
genius
another
billionaire
fucking
and a music
planet.
composer have a baby, but they don't give it a real
Music
name.
composer?
Didn't the lead
Makes
singer...
music?
I thought Grimes makes music, doesn't she?
Yes.
Grimes is a musician.
Oh.
So what you'll know her for is she did the intro music or the opening music for Hilda.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Oh my god.
Grimes is. There's
I don't-
also,
I will
know
never
any
watch
other
Hilda the
music.
same way
You
again.
you guys know that you guys know that Tumblr video where it's a guy with like who put googly eyes on his hand. He says, "Let's see what dwells within the depths of my like house or whatever," and he lifts it up and there's just like
Oh,
a weird.
yeah.
There's like a little like plastic toy of Garfield under his like vent. He goes,
Yeah.
"Whoa!" The song that plays there is a Grimes song.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I don't
See.
know Tumblr, so
His
I
name
can't.
is Josh.
Mm-hmm.
It's just,
Yeah, it's how it's supposed to be
Josh.
pronounced, but that's
his
not gonna
name,
happen. That's a
how it's
fucking joke.
pronounced.
Nice fucking
All
try.
right, class. I'm calling roll today. Of course, he wouldn't actually go to school.
Oh god, the
he's,
substitute teacher.
he's the child of Elon
Oh
Musk.
lord, the substitute
But-
teachers.
Yeah, so like he wouldn't go to school, but let's say
Actually,
he did go to
wait.
school.
Would
Let's say
this
he
kid even
did
go
go
to
to
school?
school.
Yeah. What do you
And the
even go
teacher
to
Maybe.
looks at the roll
The sport
sheet
tutors.
and thinks that there's like the fucking computer had a stroke. And he never calls that name.
My
I
thought is the things that are coming out right now is stuff like Final Fantasy just came out. Fucking Sephiroths are all going to bully this kid.
Absolutely.
Or the
I can't
fact
believe
that-
Sephiroth murdered this kid's name.
You guys ever
the
think about?
infamous John Carcat is
Yeah,
what
yeah, like
7
the,
now?
the
Not
Sasuke's,
13.
the Carcats, the
Oh,
Sephiroths.
don't.
You guys
don't
you guys ever
do
think
it.
about the
Daenerys.
generation that's gonna be? You think about the
The
people that are
Daenerys.
gonna have
Wait.
people who think are gonna have a name their kid and they're gonna go to school and they
I
Frisk.
can't wait
Yes?
to my kid to
Sans.
get bullied by someone named Bakugo.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Nothing will compare to the absolute absurdity that is Josh.
Oh Josh.
I can't wait for my future child to get decked.
I mean, I know
If they're
how
anything like me, they'll deserve it.
I know how bad it is. My name's Ares, like the Greek god. I'll go into Starbucks and they'll ask for my name. And the amount of times that they spell it like the Zodiac, that's like the best outcome that I have.
I'm your best friend, and half the time I spell it like the Zodiac.
And
When
you
I
know
was
my name!
when I was typing
I'm
it
just
earlier, I typed area.
Aries, when I was first testing out Lilith, what they misspelled my name on the cup. I can't remember what they misspelled it as.
Neither can I,
Neither
but
can
it was. I know.
I was in an empty Barnes and Nobles getting
Oh.
a coffee from the Starbucks there,
Mhm.
and I gave my nickname Cam, and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Cam." And she's like, "Okay," and I got the cup and it said ham.
I know. I've been friends with you for 8 years.
That is not
No,
the first
I
or
was-
last
I
time
really-
someone has
really-
put ham on a cup.
My last
I've been friends-
my last name is
Oh, yeah.
OPP spell. It's op. But I've been told pop many a time. They just mix the P's and O's around to make a word.
That's a great nickname. That's better than ham.
I
Hey,
don't
what's up,
want to
Poppy?
be. I don't want
What's
to
up,
ever. I don't want you to.
Poggers?
I don't want
Poppy,
any.
going
You say
down.
never say that to me again.
Fuck.
Never
If
If we
speak
want
to
to
me
talk about
like that.
unfortunate names, the last name I grew up with for my entire school career before I got it changed was Cox.
Oh boy.
I still remember the time in middle school I was not a substitute teacher. It was a teacher that I didn't have for very long though. It was my first day at this middle school and I walk in and I go up and the teacher's like, "Come up here." You know, like how in movies they'll make you come to the front of the class to introduce yourself?
Mhm.
Oh no.
I walk up to the front and the substitute teacher's like, "All right, what's your name?" And I was like, "Okay, AJ." Cox. He's like, Cox? Yeah.
Yeah.
He walks up to the board,
It is
not,
the most
he
hilarious
doesn't
last
write
name.
AJ, doesn't write my dead name, just writes COCKS.
Oh,
Excellent.
Oh,
big-
man.
Bold letters on the chalkboard.
Excellent work. Excellent
Also, it
work.
was the
Hazed.
chalkboard.
That is
you're
hilarious.
getting hazed.
I've never known a more brilliant man in my life. That man is on another level. He's got like galaxy brain.
I feel
So-
like punch him
Brain rot.
down.
Can
you
I feel like that's a low hanging
You
fruit.
said he's got galaxy brain like it's a terminal illness. Like he's gonna.
You know what?
I mean,
He has
like,
galaxy brain rot
Did you-
specifically.
Did you
hear-
Some sort of
did you-
space
did-
mold on the
did-
brain.
Did you hear about Francine? Yeah, she's got the galaxy brain.
yeah,
I
she
don't-
wrote Cox on a board in front of a bunch of children.
I don't have much to participate in this conversation because my name is so normal that nobody gets it wrong.
I mean, look how
Must
bad
be nice.
Tyler must feel.
I
Speaking
was
of-
normal.
I know so.
I just feel
I
bad
know
for
someone
anyone
who has
named
galaxy
Tyler.
brain as a
Guys suck
disease.
like that, right?
Galaxy
knew
brain
it.
disease.
Ninja should
Tyler,
not exist.
Scott Fisher.
Tyler, do you remember the dude? Tyler, do you remember the dude in high school named Justin Case?
Oh,
I hated him so
It
much.
was not Justin
It
Kane.
was
That dude
yeah,
sucked.
it super was.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Justin Case.
I
A
still.
horrible person. We
I hope
can't
he's
forget
okay.
That.
I hope he's okay out there.
I don't.
He's
What a
alright.
loser.
Hey,
The funniest.
just in
the
case he
funniest
isn't,
name
I hope you're doing great.
coincidence-
Oh.
The funniest name coincidence I think I've ever come across is the high school that Lily and I both went to.
Mhm.
We knew two Tylers. One
Yeah.
of them had the last name Fisher, and the other one had the last name Trout.
Yeah. Tyler Fisher
These are-
and Tyler Trout, and they were both terrible people in the end.
Neither of these
Oh.
people are me. Do not worry.
Hey, Tyler, what's your last
People
name?
are our
Uh,
Tyler. Our Tyler is cool.
I've got like two
Salmon.
preferred. One is legal, and that's Newsome, and the other is just my preferred, which is Rodriguez.
Nuisance.
Ooh, Tyler Rodriguez. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Newsome.
Yeah, I can
Like
get down with the
nuisance.
Rodriguez boy.
God, I
Please.
forgot about
Please.
the first one, but I remember it in high school now, and I'm like, oh yeah, the teachers did say that name, huh?
Yeah.
I have
And
something
then they looked
I'd
at
like
me,
to
and I
say.
was white, and they were like, "Oh."
Oh, Jordan.
So this is off topic from our current situation, and we'll get right back to it. But
Uh huh.
I think this is really
Okay,
funny.
these messages.
Okay.
I
tangent.
ordered a computer for my mom today, right?
Yeah.
And the website in which I ordered it from has like a little like notes section where you like include little special details just in case. It's meant to be for like those situations where it's like you have like a complicated system for how you need the package delivered,
Okay.
right? And
Pretty common.
instead of using it, I have wrote down include a sticky note with a drawing of a dog. It's okay if the drawing is bad. You are doing your best and I love you.
Aw.
All right.
Oh.
All right.
And I will give you guys an update next podcast whether or not they do include a
Oh, fuck
sticky
yeah.
note of a
I wanna
dog.
hear about-
I will
Do they
wait with
respond to the
bated
I
breath.
love you?
Whether or
Because
not
I
they
feel
do
like-
include a sticky note of a dog, and I will post the image on Twitter.
All right.
Oh my
We can,
god! Wait,
we can stick it
hold
in the
on.
YouTube video too. It'll be
Speaking
great.
speaking of
it'll be the thumbnail,
of
maybe.
continuous dedications, Lily, did you
Oh.
not pickle any jerky?
yeah,
No,
didn't-
because I
didn't make-
don't know how to
Fucking
pickle
coward.
food.
Fucking
You
coward.
get
Could've
some,
asked me,
you get
I know
some
how.
You get a fuck ton of vinegar.
Also,
Some other things
we
in
weren't
there?
going to make pickled jerky.
Put
we
jer-
were gonna
put
make
jerky in there?
sour jerky.
That would make it pretty
It's the same
sour.
difference.
Same
That's-
difference.
That's
But
what they
like,
call
no,
me
like
when I'm
citric
masturbating.
acid sour, like a.
We
like
have
a
citric
warhead.
acid.
We have citric acid. Why?
Yes.
Okay, so during the break,
What?
I need you to get the first piece of meat you can see.
My
No,
joke
that's
was so
my-
the meat is
underappreciated.
my food. No, the only meat we have in the fridge is my food.
I'm so sad because my joke with there was so underappreciated.
What was your joke? I didn't hear it.
You said you're making sour jerky, and I said that's what they call me when I masturbate.
Well, so we're
Wow.
gonna cut that out.
All right.
Cut that out of the
nature of
podcast.
Jordan's footage.
Can we get a
One
live
long
cam?
TV bleep.
You can go to my OnlyFans and see me angrily jack off.
Do you have an OnlyFans, Moke?
No.
Get
Why?
one.
Why would I have
Wow.
one? Why?
You're gonna have an
Because people
Pay for
OnlyFans
this
and it's just
channel.
going to
jerk
be...
off.
No, I'm not gonna
I'm
do
gonna get
that.
an OnlyFans and it's just going to be me doing horrible things. To
I have a
food.
Ko-fi and a
But not,
Patreon,
like,
and that's
not
what I'm fine
fucking
with.
Not fucking it, just doing the worst things. Like
I feel like
pickling
that'd be a nice
beef
change
jerky.
of pace.
What is an OnlyFans supposed to be if not just a nudes platform?
Originally, it was. First of
A
all, I'm
funny
done
joke.
recoiling now. I'm done growling and recoiling at the joke now. Now that we the question. Originally, it was supposed to just be like a platform to have like celebrities. It was Vine, but they were making the Vine stars and celebrities you had to pay to watch them, and then that fell
Okay.
through like immediately and became pornography.
I mean,
Yeah.
at
My
least there
only-
is a market for it. There
My
always will
only
be.
experience, my only experience with OnlyFans is finding my little sisters.
Ooh.
I'm back. I'm back to
Big oof.
recoiling.
Completely on
Big
accident.
What do you mean you
Completely
accidentally
on
found your
accident.
sister's OnlyFans?
I was looking to see if I could find her Twitter because I wanted to see because I hadn't talked to her in a while, and I was like, oh, I wonder how my little sister's doing. She is 18. I will specify that.
She is an adult.
You also
She
have
is
to
an
have an
adult.
ID.
She can make her own choices. She can make her own choices, and I respect
Even the
her, and I
bad
respect her
ones.
decision as long as she's being safe. And I called her after I found it, and I was like, hey, as long as you're being safe, I just support you. Just please, for the love of God, be careful. But yeah, I was looking for her Twitter, and I found it.
Can you
how
imagine?
did
Can you
you
hold on?
find it?
Hold on!
She was
Hold on!
under an
Hold on! Hold on!
alias.
Hold on! Imagine you have an OnlyFans and you're making money off it. One day, you pick up the phone. Hey, it's me. It's me. Your older sibling. I know.
It's okay.
I would have a stroke and die on the spot.
I wouldn't.
That'd be
That's
that'd be
just 'cause I'm a
horrible
fucking
news to
whore.
receive. It's like
You're
it's
not.
like
You're not
hearing-
my little sister.
I'm not your
Thankfully.
little
I would
sister.
talk to them less.
Officially, no.
I would have
She doesn't-
less-
she-
I would
she rarely
communicate-
talks to me now.
Communicate less.
There's been
She
like
really talks to me now. I'm just so
7
worried about her.
There's been like 7 instances of her like running away across the country before
Damn.
She's
like,
very
in the
very
10th grade.
resourceful. I'll give her that.
Um,
I honor her dedication to the craft.
So Aries, though, how did you find her since she was under an alias?
So I would like to say I'm very crafty. I found her old YouTube. I found the Twitter associated with that. I went through her mutual followers, until I found her face, and then I
Oh.
looked through the tags, and then went through that, and then I found her Twitter that was under the alias.
That
Huh.
sounds like stalking.
Listen, it's not stalking
It's-
if
It's
public
internet
information.
sleuthing.
It's sleuthing.
There's a very
That's-
fine line between
No.
Internet
Well,
historian
so
does
the
it.
the difference is intent. The difference is intent.
the difference
is
is, of
the
course,
fact that she's my
intent.
little sister.
I'm poking fun. I know you weren't stalking your little sister.
I was
So,
not.
so wait,
I was
so
just,
wait, you found
I was-
you found it through you found it because they followed themselves, like they were mutuals with their old content. Is that
Yeah.
what?
That's
That's
yeah.
a really
It's
common.
really funny.
I said this before, but the amount of cosplayers that have transitioned to having an OnlyFans
Listen,
is staggering.
if I were more attractive and were able to keep up with my body in a way that I felt satisfied with, I would also have an OnlyFans.
Same.
I
I just don't
can
shave enough.
barely tolerate people looking at me.
I'm just too fat.
I'm gonna have an
Oh, right.
OnlyFans, and people
There's-
just have to tolerate me cooking.
Hey, Jordan,
Yeah.
did you know that there's a niche where people are attracted
No.
to people who are larger?
No, we're not. We're not
We're
not
not
talking
gonna
about.
You
talk
can
we're not
easily
talking
start an
about this.
OnlyFans and fulfill your own
I
niche.
close my eyes.
I am
I'm
not
looking away.
I'm looking away. I don't want to
Anyway,
hear this.
We're
we
not-
can stop
we're
talking
not-
about OnlyFans.
We are immediately
Close
verging into
eyes.
dangerous territory that will
Um,
get us demonetized.
This episode,
Only
our episode titles,
OnlyFans.com.
our episode titles need to be worded like Always Sunny episodes. The gang decides to get an OnlyFans.
Group project OnlyFans.
Collaborative.
Aries.
Yes?
So my friends.
Oh.
I was just gonna say I have some friends with OnlyFans, and around the same time I got the Simp Switch. They're like, "Hey, you could like make this a job because I stepped on him and got some money." I'm like, what do you mean I can make this a job? And they're like, yeah, you could like work at bars and they'll tip you to step on you. And I'm like, those places exist.
I guess they do in the big city.
And these fucking OnlyFan workers,
They're not
who I
only
love
big city.
dearly,
I don't
who
know
I
any
love
out here.
dearly, are like, yeah. So if
Um,
you ever see me at like a bar with like a lot of like leather, tip me.
No. You know he hustling.
I'm a hustler. Listen.
Yeah.
Tip him. Tip him generously.
So,
What an
earlier
episode.
today, and really overall lately, I've been drinking tea more, and something I've always hear when
This
I'm like,
podcast episode brought to you by Slim Tea.
yeah, drinks this tea for
Shit
your
tea,
detox.
that's what
No,
it's called.
no,
Fuck.
we can't become Kim Kardashian. We can't.
Does Kim Kardashian peddle that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Delicious.
That's hilarious.
Like
No, I
75%
was
of
drinking,
popular
like, some Sleepy
popular.
Time
Yeah,
tea.
go ahead. Sorry.
They call me sponsored content.
Yes, I was drinking like Sleepy Time tea, and every time I see these tea boxes by like the Celestial brand company, I always remember Aries once told me that they were run by a cult.
Oh
What?
my god, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like pyramid
Yeah,
scheming.
hold on. I will.
Yeah. So could you tell us about that? Because I don't think you ever gave me the
It's-
story as to like how you know this or why they are a cult.
It's like
Celestial Tea Cult. I'm looking it up so I can get this right.
All right.
Sleepy Time Tea and the little known religion behind it. Here we go.
Sleepy time tea and the religion behind it.
Thank you.
The bear.
Is it like
This
an
is
LSD?
like
Or
that
LDS?
one musical
LSD.
production where I went. I said, we were out shopping with our friends, and I was like, that's run by a cult, and you didn't believe me, so you looked it up and was subjected to me reading an entire article about the rebranding of history, of Chinese history, that this one cult production is.
what are they called? There's
Join
it's
the Sleepy
it's,
Time cult.
It's like, oh fuck, hold on, let me find out what they were called. Because they always advertise around like the New Year.
What?
Would you like to join the Sleepy Time cult?
It's
I would like to start a cult.
the
Can I
traditional.
start a cult?
It's traditional Chinese dance troupe. China doesn't want you to see. I hate the way this article is titled because
Dance
that's making it seem like that China's hiding these people. It's Shen Yun.
oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Shen Yu, that's it.
Yeah.
So I found exactly what the cult is.
All right.
Are y'all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
I'm
sitting
ready.
down?
This is the tea
I'm-
cult, the one that sells one of the
So-
Why
biggest
would I be
brands.
standing?
I'm sitting down. Hold on.
Peace.
I'm
Everybody
standing for
quiet.
my Sleepy Time tea.
Shut the fuck up. Besides
Yeah.
enthusiasm for tea, Mo Seagal and one of the company's co-founders, John Hay, was also an avid believer in a New Age Bible called the Urantia book, first published in 1955. The Bible is inspired by Seventh-day Adventist movement, which I actually know about that, but I didn't know that they were the ones specifically related.
Okay.
Seventh Day.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Do you know
Mhm.
about it from personal experience, or do you know about it because you read about it?
That's a very
Because-
important.
you were the
Seventh
very
Seventh
odd
Day
You know
or
too
the
much.
Celestial Sea.
The Celestial cult.
The one
This
that
is-
you know about.
So they're one and the same. I do know about Seventh Day from experience because I had a friend that believed in it. Ex-friend.
Oh.
I don't know them
Yeah.
anymore. It was middle school, and I lived in Missouri.
Well, you know what, Aries? Who are you to judge us? I mean them.
Oh,
First
excuse me?
published. I'm almost. I promise.
Sorry,
I'll
go
get
ahead,
there.
go ahead.
I got to the exact paragraph so that you will not be led astray.
Asunder! Before you read this, though, would you like some tea?
Please.
The Bible is inspired by the Seventh-day Adventist movement, except it was
Yeah.
supposedly communicated to an unknown man possessed and put into a trance by aliens.
Huh.
That's-
Giller
Holy
Ex-
Yeah,
We
I'll
got
believe this
aliens,
book now.
boys. We got aliens. We got the fucking we
Giller
got the
explained
alien
that it was more likely written by William Sadler, a turn-of-the-century psychologist who also published 3 books about eugenics and had a deeply rooted racist philosophy.
Yeah.
Why is it
Yeah,
that there are
here we
several
go.
cults in the world that believe in aliens and are written by philosophers with deeply racist philosophies?
The 50s were a weird time. The 60s too. I mean, look at
let's
fucking
see.
Kellogg.
Cocaine?
Yeah.
These are
Kellogg,
weird.
Eat your
Kellogg
corn.
predated that, but
Eat your
Kellogg was another
corn.
like crazy.
Hi,
guy.
my name
I
is
mean-
my name is the 50s. Be sure to chop off your dick
Kellogg-
and eat some cereal.
Kellogg was not the guy that published that is not the same Kellogg that made the cereal. It was his brother that made the cereal.
Yeah.
With a new formatted recipe because he thought his brother was batshit insane.
And then
And he
didn't
was.
let's see, I forget
Correct.
which one like superseded the other with the company. Was it the crazy
It was
one?
the crazy brother thought that eating corn would prevent kids from masturbating, and the other brother was just like, "Bitch, cornflakes just taste good."
He also didn't believe in putting cereal on the not cereal, putting sugar in it.
Yeah, no, he thought
thought
that
it
that
should
would
taste
increase
bad.
masturbation habits.
Well, look what happened when look what happens when you did put sugar on cornflakes. Now we got a big hunky fucking cartoon tiger on the front.
All I can think about
That-
all I can think about when I think of old time cereal commercials is how soft voiced the Sugar Bear is from the old Sugar Bear commercials.
Well, so like anti-masturbation
that
Kellogg,
sugar bear.
bad person, committed a lot of child genital mutilation.
Yeah.
Go figure
Yeah.
that stops masturbation.
Oh my god, I kept reading about
I don't wanna
the
know
tea
about
cult.
Oh.
Are you guys ready for this?
What more
Yeah.
information about tea cults? Yes.
Yeah,
Listen, you know
according
too
to-
much. You need to stop.
According to Urantia's text, 500,000 years ago, 6 colored races existed on our planet: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and indigo. Again, according to the text, there was a racially superior order with the indigo race at the bottom, in which, as it notes, the blue man subdues the indigo. It oddly states that grains of giantism can appear in green and orange peoples. The upshot of all of this is that on every planet in every universe, fair-skinned, blue-eyed aliens named Adam and Eve come in and upstep the natives, meaning that they eliminate the inferior stocks and purify the planet.
What can I
say but
yikes?
Wow.
There are so many
Homestuck.
instances of racism and strange... Shut the fuck up.
What
in the
color
book.
alien are you guys out there? Are you
And
guys
that it was
The
really
green
hard
ones-
to narrow
wait,
down what I
wait,
wanted to
wait.
include.
are you guys
Hold
the
on,
red
hold
boys or are you guys blue boys?
Hold on, which one has the giantism? The green ones?
It's green and
the
orange.
Wait, what about that broccoli man? That's the really fucking big one.
Jolly Green
Oh
Giant.
shit!
Jolly Green
Oh shit! Oh shit! We're
I love that
figuring it out,
fucking
guys.
guy. Russell Sprout.
what about the fucking Smurfs, dude? Small little fellers.
Green Giant is gonna is here to help you eat your greens, dude.
happened.
This is what happened.
We're putting together something that we shouldn't have known.
The snort.
We can't.
The Snorks.
The
universe.
Simpsons.
I'm going to leave the podcast. Holy shit.
The Simpsons.
Hey,
It's
so
Simpsons.
hey, that doesn't explain people who aren't
Yeah.
white though.
Yeah, what does it not explain, Lily?
It doesn't explain the fact that people who aren't
Yeah,
white exist.
it doesn't explain anything.
Hold on. You guys keep
Well,
talking
the
about
answer is
whatever, and I'll
simple.
get back to you.
The answer is simple, Lilith. It's because they are illusions.
Oh my god. Wait.
Oh.
Everybody shut up. Everybody shut up. Everybody
Yes,
shut up.
Cam.
Oh.
This is just Homestuck.
I said the joke
You
already.
said
I
the
already
joke.
How
said
is
that.
Homestuck?
I already
How the fuck
said
is
the
it
joke.
Homestuck?
I already said the
I'm
joke.
not gonna go with the Homestuck
Isn't
joke
that
because I don't
two
know
white
anything about
people,
Homestuck.
like,
Blood.
Come on,
No,
like the
no,
thing.
it's because they listed a group of aliens of different colors and they had a caste system. That was literally the bit.
Yeah, but there were only 5 instead of 12.
Yeah, but I'm
You
gonna
don't know
far
that.
reach to I'm gonna far reach to make the Homestuck joke to make people
You guys are
livid.
fucking stupid.
I'm gonna make
Obviously,
people
the white
livid.
people
We're-
didn't know about the
we're
purple and
stupid.
pink water people.
We're stupid,
Eh.
Lily.
Not
Yeah.
you
Well,
guys.
Hey,
no,
Hey,
Lilith.
guys,
here,
as in,
here's
like,
our here's a nice
No.
transition. Here's a nice transition. Homestuck bad. That's the end of the recording. That's
Shut
the end
the
of part
fuck
one.
up.
That's the end of the first
Yeah.
half. And the right there because we're at 30
And
minutes.
We're break.
That's the
Yeah.
end of the first half.
All right.
Moke?
I said bathtub.
So we're back, and This tea cult. Okay, yeah, I heard that and I ignored it. So this tea cult.
The tea cult. Yes,
It wasn't funny.
about for our almost 10-minute break.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So apparently the book that the tea cult's based on weighs 5 pounds.
What?
Holy
pounds?
Oh,
shit.
so
Excuse me?
half of the
5-pound
Bible.
book.
Is it in stone?
Is the
I
Bible
don't
10
know.
pounds?
That's the Bible's not 10 pounds.
No,
Feels like it.
we.
The original?
I mean,
Maybe
they
the
wrote it
original bound
stone.
in cow leather. But, like,
The Ten
I
Commandments.
collect books. I don't
Collect
think
'em?
I have for
I
a fact that
fucking breed
have
'em.
A complete. I have 2 complete Grimm fairy tales. I have so many just ginormous books. I don't think any of them are quite that beefy, except maybe my encyclopedias.
I'm beefy.
Are you 5 pounds?
Are you 5 pounds?
God, I wish I was that skinny.
I feel
5
like at that
pounds?
point you're just microscopic.
I'm actually a quarter
That's too
pound.
skinny.
It's way too skinny.
Pick him up like a twig.
My man's looking
So,
like a
it's 5
fucking
pounds,
second
it
done.
is
My man's looking like Mr. Game & Watch.
That's why I'm Twizzler on AJ's phone.
Oh, you're Twizzler because we were trying to come up with what the name for an excessively tall twink was.
Yeah. So this book, Aries.
This book.
It's 2,097 pages.
Mm.
It's so weird. You can download the entire thing for free because the authorship is superhuman. That's the reason. That's the reason why it's free. Is because a human didn't publish it, so a human can't claim copyright on it.
Huh.
Wow.
Huh.
I wish the Bible was like that.
Fun fact. Well, humans wrote the Bible.
But no one should be able to own the Bible anymore.
King James owns the Bible, obviously.
Of
Yeah.
course.
You don't want to mess with King
Why
James.
he
Um,
wrote it.
King James gonna
So
mess you up, dude.
So it's called
Shit.
Celestial Seasonings. Because-
Celestial seasoning.
Because that was the co-founder's flower name. Apparently, on the first hike where like they got the inspiration to make tea, they collected over 500 pounds of herbs and made a 36 herb tea blend. Which, I mean, your average tea is usually closer to like 10. Just a heads up. However, the book, which talks about how it's an epic revelation authored solely by celestial beings, the book touches upon everything from mind control to a eugenics plot to eliminate the inferior races of our great nation.
That's a
it's
yikes from me,
nationalist.
dog.
It's
So,
nationalist, isn't it?
there are many wild ideas in the book that it's hard to know exactly where to start, which is my problem when you guys gave me 10 minutes to try to read this article on how to break it down to you motherfuckers.
Well,
Listen.
I mean,
we got a
Do
book
it now.
club premise.
Do it now.
Get a
Book
whole
club,
day.
book club premise.
Speed
Book
run.
club premise.
Speedrun book club.
Okay, so basically the idea of the book is that Lucifer, Satan, Melchizedek, Adam, Eve, and Jesus are all extraterrestrial beings that visited Earth. And they exterminated the original 6 races that lived here. And apparently, not only have they done that on Earth, but on every planet that has sustainable life in the universe.
Okay.
Hold on,
Okay.
hold on,
No,
hold
I'm
on.
following.
They
I'm
just-
following. I understand
No,
everything.
no,
Everything
they
makes
just
sense.
open this.
No.
They just open it by saying that Jesus committed genocide.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I see no problems with
And not
that.
only that, he's an alien known
yeah,
for it.
yeah, he's an alien, notorious for it, and it's his goal in life. Yeah.
It's like Space Orcs from Warhammer.
Yeah,
is
it is like Space Wars.
Just okay.
So,
Okay.
Continue.
going crazy.
In the 20 most asked questions, it's answered that in fact Adam and Eve were bred and brought to Earth to upset and start the human race.
They were an invasive species.
Oh,
They upset a lot of people.
this
Hey,
is currently
so
a bro moment.
I like this because this is the one thing that is so easily disproved because of DNA.
That
Usually
sounds
cults
like
don't
some.
have that kind of thing where you can just easily be like, no, that's wrong.
Have you?
I'm sure they have something
So
for
the
that.
thing about cults, I don't know if we necessarily have time in just this episode for me to talk about things like the bite model and whatnot, for
We can
why
just
cults
do,
are
like, a
usually
quick-
easily disproven. But
we
the
can do,
reason
like, a
why
quick
people
thing.
are so the bite model essentially is the list of things that tells you that something's a cult from an outside perspective. However, it's hard to talk about those sort of things from an inside to outside perspective, because of usually there's such a layered system to get people stuck in a cult and make them feel like the cult is the only thing that they can depend on, which is kind of like the reason cults are bad.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's so hard to talk about that in a digestive and easy to understand context, especially with people that have limited exposure to it, or their exposure to it, like me, is like with Mormonism, and how Mormonism fits the bite model but doesn't necessarily denote it as a cult because of various other external circumstances and like recognition process. They do run the FBI, but that's
They do.
another separate
What?
topic.
Yeah.
Mormons run the FBI.
We are talking about T cult. We
We are
don't need
talking
to
about
talk
T
about
cult, though.
Mormons.
Yeah, well, you know,
Mormons
the
is a
real topic
separate
is the
episode,
reptoids that
separate
run amok
series.
among our governments.
The T cult
We're
runs
not
the
going
FBI.
into that because that's
Yeah.
that's
That's
anti-Semitic.
That's what a
That's a different
reptoid would
episode.
say.
Hey, no.
No, reptiles thing is anti-Semitic, and we're not going to make those choices.
Okay.
The flat Earth thing is also an anti-Semitic thing.
Is
Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
it's an introduction to like
Yeah.
Nazism
I just thought they
and
were
white
really
supremacy.
stupid.
Listen,
No,
I
That
can
too,
do
but-
an entire I can do an entire separate podcast on this because it's crazy.
Okay, tell us more about genocide Jesus.
Genocide Jesus, aka
Jesus.
the Urantia book.
Jesus.
It's like
Jesus.
it's like that fucking beetle that like came on like a ship to Australia and like wiped out like the local flora and fauna. Like that's what they're implying Jesus is. Except he wasn't brought. He brought himself. He
He arrived.
was his own invasive
I am the
species.
virus.
So part of the belief system of this book is that mind control is a thing.
It's real.
Specifically,
There you're going.
in the words of the Fellowship, numerous supermortal personalities made contact through the thought adjuster, an indwelling spirit of God, of a
Tag
particular
yourself
human
on
being.
the thought.
According to the leader of the movement, William Sadler, a divine counselor presented the ideas in a language called Uversa, which I think is a very nice word
Sounds
for
like
a
uvula.
universal for a universal language. If a bit not pedantic, that's not
On
the
the
right word.
nose.
Yeah, I think on the nose. The most accepted story in How to Know What to Believe, quoted and summarized in The Great Cult Mystery, Uranta, is that around 1911, a man in Sadler's apartment building began having fits and spells at night. Eventually, he started speaking in other voices and revealed that he was a student visitor in an observation trip here from a far distant planet. William Sadler and his wife, Dr. Lena Sadler, had conversations with these voices for almost 10 years while their adopted daughter, Christy, took notes.
Huh. A doctor.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
actually really common for doctors to
Yeah,
get involved
it's
in
always like the people that are like in academia terms, like
There's
like,
an
reassured as
origin
being
story
so
for this
smart.
origin story.
oh,
that. Oh?
So the
Oh,
original
Jesus.
so the original book
deep cuts.
written from this, which is a psychoanalyst hypnotism, intensive comparison, and other things in the book that Sadler originally wrote, because remember the book that this cult's based on was written in 1955. Sadler wrote in 1929, The Mind at Mischief, Tricks and Deceits of the Subconscious and How to Cope with Them. The other original human transmitter's name is never revealed. But various Scientific American and other publications make the case that Sadler's brother-in-law Are you ready? We were
Okay.
talking about him.
Okay.
We were talking
Oh,
about him
boy.
before. Are you ready for this? Because it's all connected.
Oh
Are
my
you
god.
ready?
Oh my
Uh-huh.
god, no, don't tell me. Don't
Wilfred
tell me.
Custer Kellogg.
No!
No! No way!
No.
Custard.
Custer. Not custard.
I wish it was
Custard Kellogg
custard.
is genital mutilation Kellogg.
Custard would be
Custard.
really.
Why do you do this to
Custard
me?
Holy
Wow.
shit, it's a circle. It's time is a flat circle.
Well,
Time is a flat circle,
really, it's
and
just a
we are
matter
the fools in the
of
merry-go-round.
that during the 50s and 60s, religions like these were popping up all over the place. Like Scientology popped
Oh.
up during this time.
Speak of the 60s, when this year, it was actually 1969 when this was
Oh,
popularized.
nice.
Which
Yep.
makes sense because a lot of space cults were popping up in 1969 because that
Nice.
was, of course, when we achieved the
Nice.
moon landing. I think it is
Nice.
so cool that we got to the moon in 1969.
Nice.
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 Exactly.
And I still
Um,
can't bone an alien.
Not with that attitude.
Not with
Fuck
that
right.
attitude. Yeah, you fucking get to work. You
Coward.
gotta work for 'em.
So the tea company was created because the current perpetrator of this cult was like, I can't find work because I'm insane, just crazy, off my nut.
Just
So
Just
he
the
just
fucking
he just created a
wildest
tea
cat.
company.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, all right. If you can't get employed, employ yourself.
Yeah. So
Right? That's the
I was
American
talking
dream, isn't it?
I was talking about during the break. So you know all those nice, cool, inspirational quotes on Celestial Seasonings?
Yeah.
All those
Yeah.
fun little phrases. They're all taken from the Book of Uranta.
That's
Oh.
hilarious.
That's really
Huh.
good.
I would not have
I-
known that. But I also I didn't know that they had those quotes on there. I just
On
didn't
every
see them.
box on the side, there's usually some quote about how, like, nature loves you and how there's a way to embrace the universe when you're at your, and how to tell when you're at your, like, finest and how it is to be a good person.
Watch out
Do
for
you-
the Jesus
Do
call.
you think that this is
Watch out for the
like
Jesus call.
secretly like a marketing campaign?
I mean, it can be. It's one of the weirdest marketing campaigns because how many people, outside of the people that have listened to the last half of this episode,
For the
know
cult, I
that
mean.
know that the Celestial Season.
There's no way they could be doing some sort of a
Marketing is the wrong
subliminal.
word.
There's
Recruitment is
no
what I
way
Do
they
you
could be
think-
doing some
okay.
sort of subliminal program. Bury your gold.
I mean,
But
if someone, like,
you
it's-
gotta.
Well, they do.
There's no
what the
way that
book
kind of
leads
thing
to it.
exists. It's not
They
real.
do believe in it. Is the
Very
thing.
cool.
So here's my thing is that if they put the quotes on the boxes, the idea is that, like, as a subtle recruitment method, it's people will try and look into the quotes and find out where they came from, and then you can get them from there once they start looking.
Do you think the Dove chocolates do the same thing?
No, Dove chocolate.
No,
Do you
Doug,
think
it's
they
a
wrote
different
"Hang
thing.
in there, baby"?
So,
Do you think the Snapple bottles are also a cult?
What if the
I
what if the
found-
Dove what if the Dove chocolates are just the Dove skincare?
No,
What if it's
they're
all
not.
just soap?
I have an answer to that one. So they both just talked about it when they realized that they both had the same name and the same kind of brand thing. They're just like, we're
I
fine.
thought they were actually the same
Bro.
brand that just was very diverse.
No, they
gonna
just
be
have a
so
mutual
mad.
agreement.
They're
Well-
gonna be so mad when they hear about this bird.
They wouldn't have any competition with each other is the thing, so they just don't.
Yeah. They don't. Yeah, it's not
Um,
the same company.
Not like the
not the same
Domino's
product.
Sugar Company and then the Domino's Pizza Company.
I
They're
have
gonna be so mad when they
I
hear
have some
about that
bad
game.
news.
Oh no.
So you guys had a question earlier about non-white races.
Yeah.
I have the answer.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
How does the T cult explain
Yeah.
this?
So, in the 20 most asked questions about, which is a book that Siegel posted to answer the most asked questions about this cult. In it, he specifically says all persons are equal in the sight of God, and that, quote unquote, race should become irrelevant. But the text itself has other
Oh, that
ideas.
butt.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
For example,
Uh-oh.
starting about 500,000 years ago,
That's a lot of
6
years.
colored races appeared in Urantia, which is the other word for Earth that they apparently use interchangeably throughout the book. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and indigo, which we talked about earlier. The earlier races are somewhat superior to the latter. The red man stands far above the indigo, or the black race.
God damn it.
Hold on.
Which
Hold
are
on.
also
is this
apparently-
rainbow coded? Is this like, did they just rainbow alphabetize this shit?
To be fair, when this was written, the gay flag was not officialized yet, and it also had the pink
I
stripe
wasn't
on it.
thinking about the gay flag. I was
Oh.
thinking about like the rainbow that comes in the sky like after a rain.
I have no idea. I either haven't read that far, or he was just going off the fact that that is the color projection that
Does
light
the
makes.
red man refer to Native American people?
No, it's it's like what white people are.
That's... what?
I don't know. Remember, Adam and Eve come and like breed with this.
Breed.
That I don't know what other
With
words to use.
This book sucks. I hate this book.
I hate
Throw it
this- I hate
away.
everything about
You
this
guys are the
one-star
ones that
review
made
on
me
Amazon.
read
You know, I don't
3
support
articles
book
on
burning,
this.
but I think this one is an exception.
Hold on, is this book on Amazon? Because I want to leave.
It's
I wanna
free.
leave bad reviews.
It's
I wanna
free.
leave bad reviews.
It's
Aw.
free.
Oh, then it's
Yeah.
even
The
worse.
yellow
I
race.
want
So it gets worse.
Free
Oh.
literature.
I called it.
So this this
Can't
is
get better,
so out of
that's
2,000
for sure.
pages. Out of 2,000 pages, all of this, like, they don't even bother hiding it deeper in. This is on page 51.
Oh.
And they continue to say, and each succeeding evolutionary manifestation of a distinct group of mortals represents the variation at the expense of the original endowment. Which means the yellow race eventually enslaves the green, while the blue man subdues, which usually corresponds to Caucasians, subdues the indigo. So I think it's
Blue
supposed
Man
to...
Group.
No. Oh no, I can't do this anymore,
Oh, no.
guys.
The
We
Blue
already
Man Group.
we already connected this to Tony the Tiger.
Oh no, what happened now?
Nothing. I can't imagine this connecting any further, or my mind's going to fuck.
Oh
Okay.
no, we connected
Okay.
it to the Jolly Green Giant, the Blue Man Group.
No, the Blue Man
The
Group are nice.
Simpsons.
They're, from what I understand, they're nice people. I don't want to tangle them
Don't
in on
slander.
this.
Just weird.
Please
slander.
don't.
You're
They're
right.
they're weird.
The Smurfs had it coming.
The Smurfs had it coming, though.
Had it
Did have
coming.
On every planet throughout the universe, fair-skinned, blue-eyed aliens named Adam and Eve appear to upstep the natives. When their progeny mate with the acceptable inhabitants of the planet, the inferior stocks will be eliminated. There will be one purified race, one language, and one religion.
Oh my fucking god.
Did you guys know that if you deep dive into aliens, they have classifications for like the different types?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
there's
like
there's
the
one
tall
called there's the
whites.
tall whites and the Nordics. They're
Yeah.
just called the
What?
Nordics because
Really?
they're
It gets-
blonde, blue-eyed, and tall.
Hold on. I have one more paragraph
boy.
for you guys.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Also, I think, there's Hitler's mentioned in this later.
Yeah.
Don't
sounds
read
about
it.
right.
Don't read it.
But
We're- I think-
I'm not
I
gonna
think
get
we
down to
found
Hitler.
the
I'm not
solution.
getting down to Hitler. I'm just gonna read this small paragraph and then I'm done with T-Holtz. Before
I'm so sorry we did this
before
to
the
you.
inferior stocks, quote unquote, can be eliminated, paper 51 of the book says, and I quote, "The inferior and unfit are largely eliminated. It seems that you ought to be able to agree upon the biologic disfellowingship of your more markedly unfit, defective, degenerate, and antisocial stocks."
Oh my god.
They should have just put me by name.
This guy should've gone, like, This guy really should have gone
I'm the
on
degenerate.
like a fucking. He needed to just study abroad.
Sounds like he needed to
needs
eat
to
some corn.
drown
Needs like he
himself.
needs
Yeah.
some fucking cornflakes.
He's definitely dead now. But here's the thing: he should have
guy-
studied abroad. Therefore, he would have known that he's only thinking of America. Like, you go to a place that's not America, people of other races are like chill. You're the weirdo.
At the end of the
okay.
book, it's just like an author talking or something. He's like, and then I met my great friend H.P. Lovecraft and his wonderful cat.
Types out the
Lovely
name.
cat.
So, on one last note, I'd like to point out that apparently this is what happens on every other planet, but for whatever reason on Earth, they like Adam and Eve massively
they just-
fucked
they
up.
They just fucking flew.
They
We were the
dropped the ball.
fluke that survived the
Weird.
coal.
Uh-oh.
They fucked up
Stinky.
so bad somehow that the rest of the universe now hates the Earth, and that's why we don't get any cool aliens that Jordan can fuck.
Damn.
Like they let it cap in like a petri dish to see where it would go, but they didn't just wipe it because it was a
can't sit with
mistake. They
us.
just let it grow, and they're like, let's see where it fucking goes.
Yeah, but we don't get cool alien shit because we're inferior. Why did this
Is
guy
this
write
what
this
the
fucking
aliens
book?
are like?
In fact,
Purpose is to serve.
per the text, evil in the form of illness and disease exists because unfit people, like literally any native population, are the miserable remnants of non-social people of ancient
This
times.
dude's a fucking bummer. I'm sick of him.
Hey, guys, do you think that this is just the same old shit that people say when they say, oh, well, you know, AFAB people go through intense pain and periods and that sort of thing because Eve ate apple?
I don't
It's
want
the
to go
same thing.
through this shit.
Earth sucks because black people exist. It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
AJ, I'm so
I
sorry.
don't want to go through this shit, man.
AJ has native heritage.
I am Native American on my dad's side. I'm Cherokee. This is fucking
I'm so sorry.
insane.
man-
we made
This
you
man's
read
a
this.
fucking
We held
bummer.
A gun to
I'm
his
I have a
sick
nice
of him.
topic change.
Oh yeah, in our
I
last
can
in our
change
last
the
nine
subject.
in our last
I have-
9
I
minutes,
have-
go for it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I have
a plan.
I
Oh.
have. Okay, go for
I
it.
have a plan.
I was just gonna shame Lily, but you can go.
Okay, no,
Yeah,
let's
it's
continue.
my topic.
Let's continue
we
with
go
Lily's
to
topic.
every single grocery store.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Uh huh.
Just fucking, well, like fucking laundry line all of the Kellogg cereal
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
onto the floor.
Hey, you know Kellogg's cereal isn't racist, right? It was just the
Yeah.
guy's brother.
It was the guy's
It's
brother. He's
symbolic.
tangential. The dude who actually made it
Who
was
was
like,
apparently
he's fine.
the
He
guy
hated
that
his
wrote
brother.
this married.
Yeah, he
into
was
the
like,
man.
my brother's a fucking freak, dude.
Yeah.
You're a freak!
Okay, but
You're a fucking freak!
and we dump all the cereal into the ocean.
I don't want to
Like,
do that to
we-
the fish.
I don't want to do that to the
yeah,
fish.
I don't want to do that
I
to
don't
the
want to
fish.
do that
Also,
to the fish.
I don't wanna do that to
agree.
the fish.
I believe. Okay, can we? Let's do the subject
I don't wanna
change
do that to the
now.
fish.
Let's
Yeah,
do the subject change now.
Smoke won't shut the
So-
fuck up.
I don't want to do that to
So-
the fish.
Do you have anything to say about this?
No, I figure. I think
I'm done.
40
I'm done with
minutes on the
this.
top. 40. I think 43, 44
We're-
minutes is a good stopping point of this topic. Yeah.
So, I'll
what?
start it. I'll start it. Fuck you. I'm shaming
Oh,
you.
but I wanted to start it because I'm the one
Fuck
who.
you.
It's about me.
One of you start it.
I'm gonna start it by
It's about
prefacing.
me.
I'm
Can
prefacing
someone
it.
start it before
Cut
I
this.
take
Stop
over
doing
the
that,
topic
Alex. Cut it.
change?
The clock is ticking. Our lives are whittling away.
So, Lily and I
Thank
are
God.
both allergic to gluten.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to
I-
preface this
I only
by
recently
saying
found
that.
this out.
Found it out like a month ago.
So I want you to
recent.
know that if you whack them with a loaf of bread, it not only does physical but poison damage as well.
I'll
Yeah.
eat it anyway.
Elaborate. It's a gluten intolerance. It's not celiacs.
We don't. Neither of us have celiac disease. It is a non-celiac gluten intolerance, which does things like it causes really bad pain in the abdominal area, as well as it can do a lot of things to a specific person. For me, it makes my migraines worse because I have chronic migraines,
But how silly is that yak?
and it just
It wasn't
don't-
funny, don't
if we
giggle.
acknowledge her, she'll go away.
Like a fae?
Like in Back to the Future when Marty fucks up the past, like Moke will just fade away, just like a ghost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the most notable symptom that it causes for pretty much everyone is if you eat bread with a non-celiac gluten intolerance. It causes severe brain fog. It makes it really hard for you to think.
Mm-hmm.
Who would win? Millions of years of evolution or a grainy boy?
So,
Boy.
Grainy boy.
Me.
I work at a factory.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to bring my own lunches because everything they serve in the fucking vending machines is gluten. Just has gluten in it. It's fucking wheat in it.
One of the most
Is-
popular allergies, and it is the one that is least commonly accounted for, and it
Lilith.
pisses me off.
You are a
It's not
factory.
popular, like people like it.
Well, it's one of
It's
them.
one of the most
It's
common allergies.
common. Fuck you.
Saying popular
The
is just
Top
aggression.
5 allergies.
like, oh my
Number
god,
one.
I love gluten intolerance. You know, like
I'm gonna kill you.
Welcome.
You live
Here,
with me,
hold on. Welcome to Watch Mojo. Today we're doing the top 5
Top 5
allergies.
allergies.
Yeah.
Number 1, gluten.
I would
Number
crush that thing until
15,
it was a small
Wendy's
brown
penis
stain in my
burger.
car.
Continue the anecdote.
Okay. So most recently I had gone to work after being off for a week because I injured my back, and I
Fell down the
had-
stairs.
Gluten.
I fell down the
The
stairs.
Number
gluten tripped you
15,
Twice.
gluten in the vending machine.
So
The last
I
thing you want in your vending
Jordan!
machine.
There was just
We have
Okay.
3 minutes.
an assassin piece of
So,
toast on the.
I brought my lunch. It was like chicken, and it's in a package that you have to cut open with like scissors or a knife, and
It's thin plastic.
I have to cut open with scissors and a knife.
Oh, you're so
I can rip it
strong.
open
So
with my
strong.
hands.
The anecdote,
God.
please.
You're
Please, I
strong
need.
boy.
Please, I need
Let
the
me
resolution.
Closure.
Say say my piece. So anyway, my job also because of the outbreak does not supply plastic silverware anymore. So I managed to go to work and forget both silverware and a knife.
Oh boy.
So I just didn't have lunch. Then I'm like, I can't open this. I can't eat this. So
You have
I was like,
these things called
well,
teeth.
I'm not gonna open it with my teeth because I still can't eat it without a fork.
Weak.
Your hands.
No!
Those are the
Naturally.
forks. Those are the forks of
It's
nature.
hot food. I'm not gonna burn my hands because I'm hungry.
The last thing you
My-
want in your
my
hand
biggest-
is a chicken burn.
My biggest problem with this is before she left, I saw that she wasn't carrying anything, and I said, "Do you have everything?" She said yes. She walks out the door, immediately walks back in. I forgot my food. Goes, grabs it, puts it in a bag, starts to leave again. I said, "Are you sure that you have everything? You don't look like you're bringing much to work with you." She says, "Yes, I'm sure," and then leaves.
Take the L, Raven.
I-
Take
I-
the L.
I forgot that they didn't have silverware. I genuinely did.
Catch this
Secondly-
L,
The
nerd.
L,
I'm still
Lily.
new to going to work and bringing lunches because I can't eat bread.
Secondly, I collect knives, and there's no excuse for you not to have one.
I have a knife of my own. I just
But you
forgot.
didn't
Where
bring it.
was it?
But you didn't
Didn't
bring it.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
But you didn't
Knives
bring
are the
it.
most useful
You gotta get some
tool.
knives. You gotta get some scissors. You gotta do the little frame plastic.
When I gotta cut something,
that
when
whittle
I gotta
plastic.
cut some
Pardon
plastic
me.
open, I just use
Yeah,
my
whittle
fucking
knife
keys.
and no whittle plastic.
I'm a
you
fucking
I just
savage.
use my hands. I keep a
use
key
my-
on my keychain, or keep a knife on my
eat it with your
keychain.
little hand.
That
Why are you
looks
making
like a
fun of
key.
me? I still haven't even finished my fucking
The
story.
anecdote.
I still haven't finished.
Give it.
Because I need to
Okay, go
shame
ahead,
you so
go
you never
ahead.
do it again.
So anyway, because I didn't have any food for lunch, I'm like, I go to the vending machine and I'm like, what do they have that I could eat? They didn't have anything that I could eat besides popcorn that I'd already had for a fucking like snack, and I'm like, I don't want to eat more fucking popcorn. So I just buy a chicken sandwich, eat it, and I'm like, okay, I'll you know what? Maybe I'm like overblowing this gluten allergy thing. Maybe I'm not actually that like allergic.
She's texting me during this, and I'm calling her
Maybe
an
I'm not
idiot.
actually that allergic. So if I eat it, like I'll hurt a little bit, but I'll be fine. I eat it, and
call
like
her
I get a little
stupid.
bit of stomach pain, and like, oh well, that's fine. And then I get immediately like after I
Fool.
go back to work, I get hit with like a big wave of fatigue and gas, and it hurts and it sucks. And then I get home. And I'm like, I'm talking to Aries. I just listen to a bunch of podcasts, and I'm just like, oh yeah, you know, I like
Trying
that
to
part
prepare for the meeting
that
we
I
had
watched.
today.
And so I couldn't synthesize thought. If you have like a gluten intolerance that you just found out about and like you stopped eating bread for a while, don't go back. You will not function.
I would like to stress, as witnessing this secondhand through the whole experience and calling her an idiot and not to do it, because I did the same thing when I first discovered that had a gluten allergy. She was sitting there, we were having a conversation because I was getting her, she had just finished listening to one of my favorite podcasts, King Falls AM. And it started on another one of my favorites, which is the Penumbra podcast presents Second Citadel. And I was asking her about it, and I was just telling her things, and she's staring slightly to the left of me. And every now and then she'd say something like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then pause, look over, meet me in my eyes, and then repeat the exact same thing.
It's really like it's genuinely scary to me because
I'm not gonna lie.
It felt like my brain and my mouth were two different things and we're not on the same page.
This is what Kellogg was trying to prevent.
This is what Kellogg was trying
I
to
can eat
prevent.
Kellogg's cereal because it's corn.
It's corn.
See? He knew!
Cocoa Puffs are also gluten-free.
I mean, no, for real. Like I think
Thank God.
it
bird
felt
knew.
because it felt like I had been drinking, but like
Worse.
it felt like worse than that.
Like a hangover?
Not a hangover. It felt like I couldn't think. Like no matter how hard I tried to think.
You know, hold on. I have an
Okay.
analogy. You know the
an
hangover
analogy.
you get from
An
being
analogy.
really, really wine drunk?
No.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Oh. I was wine drunk on the first time I was on this podcast.
Were
You
you?
were.
I was.
We talk about it. He talks about it on the podcast. Is he brings up that he was drinking the whole time.
Yeah, I was drunk
I
the
was
first time I was on this podcast too.
What
You
is
don't
wrong?
drink,
You
Jordan.
guys.
I know, I just wanted to
Real?
sound cool.
Okay.
Tyler was waiting for a majority to admit to drinking on the show.
And like I was gonna be like, I'm the only clean one.
No, I don't. I will possibly do a series where because we played Minecraft with just us, where at least Lily and I got a little bit tipsy on it. It was very
fun.
funny. It was very funny.
Yeah, it's fun to get a little. It's fun to get a little. The Let's Players can get a little wasted as a treat. And that's the end of the podcast episode, ladies and gentlemen.